Awesome. We're live. The whole thing just feels so much more fast and lightweight too. So I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. I asked ChatGPT what settings I should put it on and stuff. This program that I use is very complex. OBS. If anybody uses OBS, you know it's like, oh my gosh, there's a million buttons and settings and stuff. But actually, to try and fix the lag that was happening, everything that ChatGPT came up with was making it worse. And so I'm trying all these things, and then finally I came up with a solution. And I was like, maybe it's this camera. So I replaced out the camera and it fixed the lag. And I told ChatGPT, I was like, hey, guess what? I fixed the camera. Da, da. And it went, oh, yeah, well, of course it was that because da 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 da. And it went all through the different reasons that it was right for suggesting that after I had suggested it. I'm like, really? You're going to take credit for this? Come on. It was just funny. I find that ChatGPT does that kind of thing. It sort of brown noses you a little bit, you know. It's like, it's going to tell you that your thing is just right. It uses, your thing on I don't know. It's just funny. John Marco says ChatGPT on steroids. Love it. Occasionally when I write something, not using ChatGPT, but just like writing something to write it, I will catch myself writing in, maybe using more adjectives or expressive wording or something. And I go, are people going to think this is AI generated? Have you ever thought that? Every once in a while, I think, maybe I ought to tone this back. Like the way I'm writing it is very formal, or it's very professional, or it's very whatever. And I'm like, it's so eloquent like that it will come off as AI generated, and I don't want to come off as AI generated. And so I will kind of tone back my language to compensate for the fact that ChatGPT and others write very like academically and eloquently. So often I don't know, do you do that? Sometimes I will back off from what I'm writing to make it not quite as, I want it to sound more authentic. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Since it's August, prepare for too many two-word puzzles in connections. Oh boy. Okay, they're up in the ante, huh? Wina has got some tricks up her sleeve. All right, well, let's take a look. Let's dive in and we'll play it. I see inside, product, maze, syrup, fruit, knock knock, let me in, muffin, practical, ghost, return, silk, yield, twilight, dad, and Casper. Okay, so the first one that I saw were different types of jokes, right? A dad joke, a practical joke, an inside joke, and a knock knock joke. Yeah, kinds of jokes. Oh, and it's the green category. I thought that would be the most obvious one, the yellow. Ghost. I saw Casper and Ghost. Fruit, muffin, syrup. Those seem like things that would be served at like a continental breakfast or something, right? Fruit. How about yield and product and return? Oh, and fruit. I bet your fruit goes with that. Yeah. Okay, awesome. So then I was kind of up in the night about that one then. Syrup. Okay, so then is this like a fill in the blank or something? Ghost. Ghouls and Ghosts. Casper the Friendly Ghost. Silk Sheets. In skateboarding, there's the Casper Flip. I haven't heard of any of these other. Muffin Flip? That's not a thing, is it? Okay, let me shuffle them. Syrup. Surreptitious. Muffin. Muffin. Blueberry muffin. Oh, wait. Hold on. Corn syrup. Corn maze. The little strands are called corn silk. And a corn muffin? Like a cornbread muffin? Okay. Corny things. Corn. That's funny. Yeah, cornbread muffin. Oh, man. I love... My Nana, she was from the South. She used to make cornbread muffins all the time. Oh, they were so good. Okay, so the yellow category then. Ghost, Casper, Twilight. Those are like ghostly movies, right? Kind of like offshoot, non-scary ghost movies. I've never heard of Let Me In. Supernatural romance. There you go. Supernatural romance. That's a good way to say it. Purple category is a joke. Yeah, that was pretty corny, wasn't it? That's funny. Oh, I love that. All right, not in rainbow order. This is kind of a mismatch today. Kinds of jokes. You got a dad joke, an inside joke, one that you and your friends are a part of, but nobody else is in the know. A knock-knock joke, a practical joke. Sometimes, couples will play practical jokes on each other. My wife, it would not have that. If I did a practical joke, I put Kool-Aid in the shower head or something, she would have my head on a platter. Like, she does not take those very well. So I know there are certain jokes I just can't. She takes me very literally sometimes. I'm like, I'm such a funny person. Come on. So I have to, I would never, ever in a million years do a practical joke against my wife. My kids, they love it, right? They would do something funny to me or back and forth. But you got to know your audience, right? And I'm full of goofy dad jokes. I'll come up with little witty puns all the time. The yellow category, the result, is the fruit, the product, the yield, or the return. Yeah, fruit. I thought it was going to be like fruit and muffin, and there was another one. Syrup. Yeah. Okay, corny things, right? You can have a corn maze, cornbread muffin, corn silk, those little hairs when you shuck corn. I actually have some corn in my fridge. We got to use it up. I forget why we bought it. We were going to do burgers one night, and then we ended up doing something else, but I still have the corn. So I need to, it's not even shucked yet. It's still in its, husks. You get that out and shuck some corn tonight. Movies featuring supernatural romance. Casper. Was there a romance involved with Casper? Casper's just like a little kid that died, right? Ghost, of course, that classic, that classic, is that Patrick Swayze? Or Kevin Bacon. I get those two mixed up all the time. Patrick Swayze, I think. The classic scene where she's like doing pottery and he's leaning over her shoulder, and it's funny. Let Me In. I've never seen that one. We'll look that up later. And then, of course, Twilight. The whole Twilight series, a supernatural romance between a human and a vampire. There's a whole lot of vampires in there. And werewolves, too. Surprise, your best friend's a werewolf. All right. There it is. Okay. And the mini crossword, by the looks of it, is not so mini today. There it is. Look how big that is. Friendly and pleasant. I feel like Cheerful. No, cheerful wouldn't fit. This is a dad joke. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Fantastic joke. I love that. Thank you, John Marco. That's great. Friendly, unpleasant. I don't know. These are big words. Seven words. 7 letters long. Irritatingly self-important. Maybe egotist? Maybe that's wrong. Cheerleaders' accessories sounds like pom-poms. Barely blank out a living. Oh, barely eke out a living. You live paycheck to paycheck. You barely make enough. We haven't decided yet on schedules. TBD, to be determined. Radio exposure for a song. Maybe like airwave. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're looking for. Yeah, we're probably changing a bunch of these. Blank of two evils. The better of two evils. Pancake mix ingredient. That might be egg. I don't know. Let's see. We're probably changing a ton of this. Now the down clues. Challenge to a court ruling. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I think some of these are correct. This is the lesser of two evils. It's not the better of two evils. Because look. Here, this one's not correct. I know this. Because, look. Challenge a court ruling. Appeal. Appeal a court ruling. I think we're onto something with most of these. Maybe these are actually correct. Airwave. Could be airwave. Dodgers slugger bets. I don't know. I don't know baseball players. I don't know very many any athletes actually. Deeply involve oneself in. That sounds like maybe I'm spelling this word wrong. Is it eke? Because immerse. So what's this one? Pookie? Moki? I don't know. We'll come back. Smartphone download is an app. I don't have a lot of apps on my phone. I have the essentials. I have no games. I know, I'm boring like that. I have 0 games. Oh, an illegal copy, a bootleg. Bootleg. So is this wrong? I love that word, air. Bootleg. All right, maybe we need to go back and visit some of these. Bootleg. Kind of support for the lower back. Oh, I do know this. Lumbar. Lumbar support. When you go to the chiropractor, they say, oh, it's your T1 or your L5 or your S. They all stand for different things, and the L stands for lumbar. Okay, I'm thinking this one is... We're going to modify that a little bit because an English class assignment sounds like you have to write an essay. Which means we haven't decided yet. Is TBA, to be announced? I thought it was TBD, to be determined. Radio exposure for a song, airplay. French soccer club that won its first championship league title in 2025, PSG. I don't know. Paris soccer gymnasium. I have no idea. Okay, I don't know what this one is. Dodgers slugger bets. I do know this one, though. Friendly and pleasant. Amiable. amicable, amiable. I love this word. Irritatingly self-important, pompous. There it is. Nice. We did great. We did pretty all right there. We solved it in 5 minutes. This was a big puzzle. Look how big this puzzle is. 5 minutes, 24 seconds. It's funny, the way I reorganized this, you can see the time at the top now. I love it. All right, let's look at it from the top. Friendly and pleasant, amiable. Yeah, I always love amiable people. Surround yourself with amiable people. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Find some friends that are, friendly and nice to you, to each other. Irritatingly self-important, pompous. Oh, that's funny. Cheerleaders' accessories, pom-pom. Pompous, pom-pom. They both have pomp in them. Pompo. They both have pompo in them. The only thing is one little letter. Look at that. Same word, U-M. That's the only difference. That's funny. Barely eke out a living. E-K-E. That's a funny way to spell a word. E-K-E. I thought it was E-E-K. Like, oh, I saw a mouse. Eek. We haven't decided yet on a schedule. You see TBA, to be announced. At first I said TBD, to be determined. But that is not what they were looking for. Radio exposure for a song is airplay. The lesser of two evils, 14 across. Pancake mix ingredient, egg. Yeah, they're going to add... Oh, I could have said oil there, too. Sometimes they ask you to add oil to your mix. Challenge to a court ruling. Appeal. Yeah, the minis have been tough lately, I agree. A lot of them not so mini, like this. Does it bug you that this is not, like, symmetrical, too? It didn't bug me until I just noticed it and said it out loud. But now it's kind of bugging me. Like, there's a thing in the middle, but then the two sides don't line up with each other. Oh, wait. Dodgers slugger bets. Mookie. Wait, didn't I say Mookie? I feel like I said Mookie a couple minutes ago. I was like, Pookie, Mookie. And yeah, it was actually Mookie. That's really funny. The far right is bugging me. Yeah, the little chip taken out of the side. What gives here? What's that? Mookie Betts. Deeply involve oneself in. To immerse. I think the best way to learn a language is to immerse yourself. Right? Learn the culture. Go to the country and just like, sink or swim. Immerse. A Hollywood director, a writer for a movie or TV show. They're trying to immerse you. People that make YouTube videos, their job is to immerse you, right? Make you forget that you're sitting on the toilet when you're watching their short, Deeply involve oneself in, immerse. Smartphone download is an app. You're going to get an app. I don't have a lot of apps. I have kind of the bare minimum. 99% of what's on my phone is photos. I take photos of my kids and, just having tons of fun. I want to remember the good times, so, I take pictures of everything. There's some things that I've learned not to take pictures of, right? I'll take a picture of like a performance or something of my kids, but when I go to live music, I want to sit there and enjoy live music. I don't want to sit there and like get a video of the live music. I'm probably never going to watch that again. If I'm going to take a video, I will take a professional like camera on tripod, wireless microphones kind of setup, not, hey, let's, just get a cell phone video of this, because you're never going to watch that. And it's funny, you go to concerts and everyone's got their phones out taking videos. You're never going to watch that video. Like, just live in the moment, right? I try to just live in the moment. An illegal copy is a bootleg, right? A bootleg copy of something, of a DVD or a video game or something. Kind of back support for the lower back, lumbar support. I need a new chair. This one doesn't provide me any lumbar support. An English class assignment, essay. I actually assign an essay. We were talking about this in faculty meeting just yesterday. our school is coming out with a new like academic integrity policy where, AI is everywhere. AI is absolutely everywhere. And so often kids will just like copy the prompt and then paste it into ChatGPT, and then it creates an essay for them. Well, I'm not wanting them to do that. I'm wanting them to write from the heart and talk about some photographer that they fell in love with or something. So if they're just, writing an essay to write an essay, then they're missing the point, right? And so, yeah, I do actually have them write an essay in my photography class, surprisingly. I say, fall in love with a photographer. Go research photographers and tell me about this one that you've, taken a liking to, and what was the impact they have made on your photography. And the ones at ChatGPT, it basically just say, here's Ansel Adams, and it's, obviously, not following the prompt. I say Ansel Adams because if you Google, famous photographer, he's the first one that pops up, right? So then the kids that don't care, I get 50 essays on Ansel Adams. The kids that really actually care, I'll get these deep, meaningful essays on photographers I've never even heard of, right? People that are like, oh, I saw this guy on Instagram. I follow this guy. He does drone photography of surfing or, just crazy good stuff that I've never even heard of. And I love it. I love, all of the research that kids do when they actually do it. When they don't actually do it, it's like you miss the point, right? The whole point of this was to fall in love with photography. French soccer club that won its first Champions League title in 2025, for short, the PSG. I'm going to guess that means the Paris Soccer Guild. There you go. Speaking of photography, I am the chief of photography in your journalism team. No way! Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Thank you for telling me that. You told me twice even. It's in the chat twice. PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. There it is. All right, well, now I know. Thank you. John Marco says, speaking of photography, I am the chief photographer in our journalism team. That's really cool. I run a journalism team, not like paper journalism, but video journalism. I have kids go out and be reporters and stuff like that. And I love it. I love what they do. It's really cool. I'm going to modify it a little bit this time around because I have a lot of kids in the class, and a lot of kids are reporters, but sometimes they don't make the reports. They miss their deadlines and stuff, so I want to find out ways to keep them more accountable and actually make the videos they say they're going to make. I don't know. We'll figure out how. Exactly what that means, I don't know. Okay. All right, let's dive in. We'll play the Wordle. What do we start with? There's one. Break. Oh, nice. Okay, we got an A. Sometimes I sit there and stare at it, like waiting for the letters to kind of speak to me. What 5-letter word will just sort of appear. There is a non-intersecting word. Break. Point. P-O-I-N-T. Point. I'm at the breaking point. And that did give us an N. Not in the right place, but that's okay. How about chums? C-H-U-M-S. Okay, tiny bit of help. We got an S on the end. Well, it's not on the end. There is an S somewhere. So this could be like S-N. Okay, the only thing I'm worried about is that there's only an A. It could be a double A, right? It could be like blank A, blank A, blank, you know? Xanax or something. What would that be? It could go SN, but then what? AA? You know what I mean? Could be a Y as a vowel, I guess. Or it could be consonant, consonant, consonant. I keep hitting L. Maybe L is part of it. You know, could be AN at the end. I'd love to know if it was AN at the end. If we can think of something, 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 AN, that would tell if it ends with an N. Maybe I'm up in the night about it. Maybe it does not. It's not even close. Ansel? Is that a word? Like ancillary? Not a word. Okay. I think ancillary is ANSU. Could be totally wrong there. Gosh. I keep thinking AN words, but I wonder if it's not. Oh, wait, here's a word. Nasal. Nasal. It really could be an L. Remember, I was like typing in words and or like thinking of examples, and I kept hitting L. It really could be L. We'll try it. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Cool, good stuff. Yeah, it's very generous of them to round up to 100 like that. Okay, we did good. Break, point, and chums, and it gave us an A in the right place, an N, and an S. And, I mean, that was all of our vowels, right? Unless you consider Y a vowel. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's a double A. And then as I'm looking through letters, I'm like, okay, like AN, AL. Maybe it could be AL, actually, you know? Nasal. I like nasal just randomly popped up into your head. my nasal cavities, right? My sinuses. Cool. Yeah. All right. Let's roll on through. Yeah, so the strands today. There we go. That looks better. The strands today is, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out what the strands is going on. What do you have to offer us? I feel like this could go a lot higher, don't you? I might fix that later. Here, I can leave it low like this right now, but really this should probably... Because there's a bunch of... Oh, I guess the word at the top has to be there too, huh? But you can't see that L. There, we'll put it like that. Gastronomic gadgets. Gastronomic. So is this like cooking? These are like kitchen utensils. Well, the obvious is to look for the word kitchen. I see the word kitchen. Kitchen. Okay. Kitchen. I see kitchen spools. Oh, maybe it's... I'm dumb. Kitchen... Oh, it's not. Oh, here, this one. Kitchen... Tool. Oh, just singular. Kitchen tool, singular. Okay. How about the whisk, the fouet? The Portuguese word for whisk is fouet, and that is the word in French, actually, fouet. How about a mixer? Oh, I know, it's a sieve. It's like a strainer. Strainer is a sieve. Wets, zap. Like a baster. T-E-R. Spaz. Oh, a zester. Zester. I'm like, what is this Z doing here? Yeah, zester. Ooh, there's another good one. The spatula. The word for spatula in Portuguese is espátula. Surprise, surprise. Spatula. Wreck. So this is all one word. Whatever this is, it's all one word. Oh, here. Cork. Screw. And it zigzags like a corkscrew. That's funny. I like that. Very clever. Very clever. Perfect puzzle. We found the spangram first today. Is that a... Here, spangram first. I love it. There's actually a number, like a stat for finding the spangram first. Here, like that, so you can see it. Finding the spangram first. We've done that 6 times, like today. Current streak 33, pretty good. Solved without hints most of the time. Awesome. Gastronomic gadgets. You had kitchen tool, a whisk, a mixer, a sieve, right? Like a strainer. Spatula, zester. I was looking at spatula like, what is this? If you like imagine a little bit, each of these sort of take on the shape of what it is, right? A spatula has like a bent end like this, with a handle. A corkscrew goes zigzag, zigzag like this, right? A spiral. Zester maybe not, but like a whisk, right? You put it in and then you whip it around. And a mixer is like the arm of a mixer. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I could kind of see these as the different tools that they are. Cool. Well, that was actually kind of an easy one. That was fun. Okay, and then we're going to play our old pal Letterboxd. And letterbox looks silly until I scroll like this. There we go. Okay. So we're going to try to solve this. There we are. Cool. We're going to try and solve this in 6 words. Which means that either these are tough letters or a tough orientation of letters. And I'm looking at these. There's a W and a K, but and a Y, I guess. But overall, these are pretty normal letters. So maybe it's just the orientation of these letters. I see SLC. Oh, that's so funny. SLC, like Salt Lake City. W, I, and J, A, G, and Y, K, O, N. All right. So what do you have for us? There's an S. There's no E. There's no R. Oh, that darn J. Okay, how are we going to get rid of this J? There's no D, right, for like adjust or something. There's no U. Every J word I can think of has a U in it also, like journey. Jocks. That gets rid of the J. Swang. Past tense of swing? Not exactly. SWI, but we can't do swing for WIs on the same side. Jock. Swole, when you're like super strong, you're swole. Swollen. That's not spelled right. Maybe we don't start with SW. SL. SN. Snail. Snaily? Snaily's not a word. If something is like a snail, it's not snaily. There's no T in this puzzle. I'd say like listen, or well, there's no E either, huh? What can we do? What can we do? Law. Just play law. That's okay. Wonky. How about laws? Then we get over to the S. S is a little more friendly than a W, right? Singly. Oh, nice. We did it in 4. Singly. Because singly doesn't have an E in it. I was like stressed because the puzzle doesn't have an E. No matter. We'll just go without the E. Like a word like singly. So jocks. That's funny. Jocks led to snail. And then L for laws. S for singly. Good thinking. Good thinking. All right. Well, good. If you like what you see today, give it a like. Consider subscribing because we do this every day. And on the weekends, we do it in the morning. School has started now, teacher meetings at least. School officially starts on Wednesday. So I'm having to do this after school, right after school hours. So early in the afternoon, I do the puzzles on the weekdays. But during the weekends, I get to do this early in the morning with you guys. So it's pretty awesome that we get to do this today. So here we are in the early morning. Maybe it's, late in the afternoon for you. Everyone's, hourly, time zones are different and all that. I like to say that our, gravity pulls you in different directions all over the world, huh? All right. Well, let's go recap. Let's see what we've got. In our connections puzzle today, it says create 4 groups of 4. We didn't do it in like an intended order or anything. We just dove in. First off, kinds of jokes. There's dad jokes, inside jokes, knock-knock jokes, and practical jokes. Yeah, it looks great on your end. That's a good thing. I love telling dad jokes. My kids just think I'm silly. Come on, Dad. It's being goofy. Inside jokes. I even had a couple inside jokes with my kids. Knock-knock jokes. My kids love telling knock-knock jokes, even more so than I do. And practical jokes. That's the one that ooh, don't do that in our house, right? If somebody TP'd our house, I wouldn't go, oh, you guys. My wife would have a fit, right? She would not be happy about it. You got to know your audience. Some people love practical jokes and they, razz on each other back and forth. And then some people, it's like, don't do that to them. Don't do that. The next one, results, right? The yellow category should be the most straightforward. The fruits, the product, the return or the yield, the fruits of your labors. Purple category was funny. Corny things. Corn maze, corn muffin, right? Cornbread muffin, I guess you'd say. Corn silk, those little hairs when you shuck corn. And then corn syrup. How did I end up seeing that one? I feel like it was corn maze and corn syrup near each other. And then I was like, oh, cornbread muffin. Wait a minute, that could be it. Cornbread muffin. I actually love a good cornbread muffin. My grandma used to make them all the time. And then corn silk. The little hairs, right? When you're boiling corn, you get those little hairs. That's what that comes from inside the corn husk. Movies featuring supernatural romance. Casper. Was there romance in Casper? Does Casper fall in love? Casper falls in love with Cat Harvey. He initially attracted to her while she moves into the mansion, and they develop a close friendship. Oh, and then they share a kiss. Oh, that's cute. Let Me In. 2010 horror movie. That sounds like the worst thing ever. Is there a romance? What was the point of Let Me In? The real meaning behind Let Me In, a familiar concept. There's a thin line between good and evil, as there are in many vampire movies. Extreme loneliness and neglect led Owen to question the difference between the two. Uh-huh. Interesting. Okay, well, I have not seen that movie. Apparently there's a vampire romance involved. All right, let's hit the top of this one. And then in the mini crossword today, whoa, what happened? I didn't do that. There it is. Okay. Oh, that was weird. 30 minutes? Does it keep track of your time when you're off the page? Because we finished this. The timer said something different a while ago. That's interesting. Huh. No, we finished it in 5, 6, 7 minutes? I don't know. It was not a half hour. We did it a half hour ago. Maybe that's what it's counting. All right. Friendly and pleasant. Amiable. I try to be amiable to everybody I know. There are certain people that rub me the wrong way, but I just, you be smiley and friendly to them anyway, right? even if they don't really reciprocate. Irritatingly self-important, pompous, right? Someone that's very self-important. I don't have time for that kind of people. I try to be amiable to them, but, sometimes it's not returned to me. Cheerleaders' accessories, pom-poms. I love that. Pompous and pom-poms are the same word minus that last letter there, or that second to last letter. Which ended up that the down clues were a bunch of answers that had double letters all through it. That's kind of funny. Barely eke out a living. I got that. I just didn't spell it right at first. We haven't decided yet. TBA, to be announced on a schedule. Radio exposure for a song. Airplay. At first I said the better of two evils. No, the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. Oh my goodness. Pancake mix ingredient. Egg. I guess I could have said oil there too. One of the three-letter words there. Challenge to a court ruling. An appeal. Dodgers slugger Betts. Mookie Betts. Who's Mookie Betts? I was going to look that up too. Mookie Betts. Sounds like an old name. Like, who would call their kid Mookie? Maybe it's a nickname. It's probably just a nickname. Mookie Betts. Oh, no, that's like legit his name. Marcus Lynn Mookie Betts. So people call him Mookie, Marcus. And he's recent, too. Born in 1992. He's younger than I am. Oh, my gosh. Does he currently play? He currently plays for the Dodgers. See, I don't know these things. I don't know these things. Mookie Betts. All right, well, so I'm going to store that somewhere in my brain cells. Mookie Betts. To deeply involve oneself in is to immerse, right? The immersion factor of a movie or a game, right? You lose yourself in a live stream or a game or something. You're like, wow, I was playing this game and I forgot that I was, here. There's lots of games that do that. Or movies, right? Movies are just wildly immersive. A smartphone download sounds like an app. An illegal copy is a bootleg. I love all these double letters. Double letter. Kind of support for the lower back. Oh, excuse me. I only woke up not that long ago. Lumbar support for the lower back. An English class assignment is an essay. And the French soccer club that won its first championship league title in 2025 was the PSG, which stands for... Hang on. PSG stands for Paris Saint-Germain. There it is. Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain. Cool. This was a funny one. Gianmarco was noting how funny it was that the word nasal came to me. It was really breaking down, like every time I play Wordle, I break down words into their like possible combinations. At the heart of it, it's either like consonant, vowel, consonant, like this one is, or consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, right? That's a common one. Or sometimes you get three consonants in a row, but not as common. And so I'm like, okay, well, if there's only one vowel here, there's an A, maybe it's a double A, or it could be a Y. I tried a Y a couple times, but they didn't make sense. So I came back to this idea that it could be a double A. And if the A is the glue that puts it together, maybe it's consonant, vowel, consonant like this. And S couldn't go at the end. And so mixing around letters, I was like, sanag. I kept thinking of the L too. I was like, what if it's an L? And then I tried nasal. And I don't think there are any other words that could combine in that certain way to make it happen like that. So I think we did all right. This non-intersecting word thing works pretty well for me. I like it. All right. And then, can you see that okay on your end? It kind of cuts off funny on mine. I'm considering kind of moving this one around. I could maybe even just like zoom it out a tiny bit just so you can see better. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. Okay. I do know what the right answer is to the Strands puzzle. We did great on the Strands today. Gastronomic gadgets. Kitchen tool. You got your corkscrew that makes kind of a spiral zigzag back and forth. That's pretty funny. So, corkscrew. A zester. I keep looking at that one backwards. A-L-U-T, alutapas. I don't know. No, the backwards. Spatula. It's a spatula, guys. Don't overthink this. Whisk. Whisk. I love whisks. I have too many whisks, but I love them for cooking, for making a batter or a sauce, a roux or something. French and Portuguese, the word for whisk is fouet. It's a shared word. There's a lot of actually shared words from French to Portuguese. Mixer, right? If you don't want to sit there and mix it by hand, you can put it in the mixer. And then a sieve. Sieve. I've heard people say sieve or sieve. Lots of different pronunciations for that one. A sieve. Nice. And then, we played the letterboxed. Let's see. So letterbox, I saw the word jock. So I was trying to get rid of the J first. We had to solve it in 6 today. We ended up doing it in 4. Jocks, snail, laws, and then the S led to singly. There was no E in this one, single. So I was like, what can we do? Oh, singly. That's a good word. How'd they solve it yesterday? Let's see what yesterday's puzzle was. Envelop and prefigured. Was that even close to anything we guessed yesterday? Revolver, tranks, scaly. No, scaly was a previous one. There's no C in this one. I just wrote revolver and rund. Rund. Apparently R-U-N-D. It's not the past tense of run. Nope. And then because I scroll, I kind of mess up that. That's fine. All right. Well, good. Awesome. Jocks, snail, laws, and singly. Nice. That's not the most efficient way to do it, but that's my way. That's the way I did it. Cool. All right. Well, you guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. Thanks for some fun chat. If you like seeing these puzzles get done and you just want some background noise, me doing these puzzles, then come hang out, right? Give this video a like and consider subscribing, and then my videos will show up in your feed, and you can watch it every day. On Saturday and Sunday, I do these early in the morning like this. Now, I get it. It's early in the morning for me, right? But to you, it might be late in the afternoon or something. So everyone is somewhere else in the world, and that's fine. But whenever you see this, you get to watch it. So, yeah. Anyway, today's puzzles were fun. I was a little bit shocked by some of these. I learned some new things. Mookie bets. Some other things. Yeah. Well, anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. I am going to not have a lazy Saturday. I didn't even talk about the title today. Are you having a lazy Saturday? Because I'm not. I have multiple things going on. I just dropped my son off to a cross-country meet. He's going to run with a bunch of other boys. Boys and girls, actually. It's a mix. And then our family's getting the house ready because later on, we're of course going to watch his heat of the run. But then later on, we are going to have a couple of friends over, a couple cousins actually that we haven't seen in a little while. They're in town from out of state, so they're going to come over to our house. So we're frantically getting the house ready, cleaning up, getting rid of piles of stuff. The chaos of a house. You need to kind of put it in order so it looks good, and then clean the bathrooms and make it presentable. Right? We don't have to do huge things. We just need to make it presentable in our house. Yeah. Awesome. Well, you guys are great. Thanks for a great stream, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.